Which starters to buy if you want to start Conquest, the Last Arguments of Kings in 2025. Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and War Games. We're going to do today like we did last year in the sense that we're going for Conquest, Last Arguments of Kings, check every single starter that has been released, the new ones in 2025, some of them are very interesting, the older ones of 2024, last year for the 5th anniversary, some of them are still very interesting, sometimes even more than the new ones, so we'll check the differences. And finally, also the original one-player starter sets, which sometimes you can find very cheap, and some of them do have some great unit composition. For each of them, we are going to compare, like for the new starters, if it's good to buy twice, if the older one from 2024 is still interesting to combine with the new starters, sometimes yes, sometimes no, and same questions for the original one-player starter sets. So we're going to do for each faction, so there starts to be quite a few of them. First, the faction generalities, then the new starter, the 5th anniversary starters, and the original starter. So it's gonna take a while. As you can see, the video is probably very long. There are going to be some links, like some timestamps in the lines, in the descriptions. You can go there. As always, if you would like to get those miniatures, there is a code LOVE10 which gives you 10% on every single purchase on the official Parabellum website. And then most often you are going to get a free delivery to your home, so that is quite interesting even when you compare to other sales places. And when you do this, we do get some percentage back at Love and War Games, which allows us to buy more miniatures, to get them painted by pro painters, and get you always larger battle reports. By the way, our latest one has been released not so long ago. It was a tournament report for the ITC where we got the chance to interview Stavros, the creator of Conquest, and there are some very interesting stuff, so do have a look there if you are interested. Now, without further ado, let's start having a look at the different starters. And we start with the most vanilla faction. Well, even though that starts to not to be the case anymore, it is the 100 Kingdoms. So those are the basic humans, let's say. They are based visually on the Holy Roman Empire, but they have this very like Renaissance aesthetics. You're going to have some really well armored humans. They almost look like they should have gunpowder, but they are more focused on being very versatile. They can handle almost any gameplay. So you can have huge hordes of peasants with some priests. Now you can have a really like theist priest with some priests, but also some kind of like inquisitors, some giant statues, because yes, now you have a monster in the city-states. So you can have this very like faith-oriented list. You can have the very elite, very organized legions of the empire. You can have the kings, like if you want to play Game of Thrones, you can have this with some feudal lords with lots of cavalry, lots of like elite infantry as well. And you can also have the order, which are these superhuman, almost like let's say medieval space marines guys. They are all cavalry for now, but some order infantry is coming, and they're like, yeah, they're basically super paladins. And if you want super elite, you can absolutely have this. So lots of different ways to play those guys. The key particularity of the 100 Kingdoms is that each of their factions can ally with each other, except two specific factions, the Order and the Ecclesiarchy, which hate each other, which means that some of the starters will not combo so well together. We'll see that in a second. And yeah, if you're a new player, you can find the older miniatures for very cheap, but be careful, there's some of those has been resculpted. For example, the Men-at-Arms, which I know some people hate them, but I think they had a great art direction, but the new ones are even better. So of course you can go there with your eyes closed. Lots of variety, you can have a massive collection, and if you like the idea of just playing the normal guy that can only count on the discipline and the man on his left and on his right to hold the line against dragons and monster and undead and stuff, well, this is the army for you. So we start with the new 2025 100 Kingdoms starter set. Let's start with some generalities. Every single one of the new starter sets is going to be at 160 euros, or the same price in dollar. And I made some calculations for the prices without any, like of everything, without the discounts, and then calculating the discounts if you buy the box. I would like to point out that the discount is not the only thing that you need to be careful about. There is a whole list of units, and sometimes units are interesting. Like, it doesn't matter that you have a huge discount if you have an army list that you don't want and with terrible units, etc., etc. That being said, the 100 Kingdom starter sets is a good pack. Like, you do have a lot of things. It's all brand new sculpts, so you of course have the new men-at-arms that I was talking about right here. You do have the oldest miniature, it's probably this Crusader Noble Lord that you have there. You also have the Crusader Noble Lord, which is very new. It was part of the release at the beginning of 2025. You have the new Sicarii right there. These are the guys that I call the Inquisitors. They have also 12 of those Crusaders that are part of a theist list, all of them. And finally, 3 mounted squires, which are going to be your only light units, those cavalry, that go very well with the female noble lord. I don't know why they call it female on the list. I thought it was a guy. Well, I guess you can say whatever you want. Then you have all the usual things. You have measuring tools, you have some dice, the command cards, this is mandatory. You have a quick start guide as well to explain to you a few things. You have a whole map of the world, and you have some two-dimensional terrain, which is nice. Like, I mean, it's a good package, especially like the dice, the command cards, obviously, but the terrain as well. Like, this is like useful. Like, I mean, maps of the world are nice and stuff. Like, it's always nice, but having some terrain that you can actually use and the measuring tool is nice. Let's put all these goodies aside. Only in terms of pure miniatures, you would pay 220 euros for all of those units, brand new. It means that your discount is of 27.5% approximately. That is a fair discount, like, I mean, on mostly brand new miniatures that were released like a couple months ago. Now, is it a good way to start the faction? Like, beyond it being a very good box with a good discount and what is, in my opinion, beautiful miniatures. I would say yes if you want to play Theist or Feudal or a bit of both, because all of this is core units. Like, you will want men-at-arms probably at any point in any list. Crusaders and Sicarii is really like more on the Theist side. The mounted squires is going to be great with all the feudals, and the feudals are those that you can mix the most easily with any faction. I will not go in detail, but they share keywords, and you can plug feudal units very easily onto any other faction, empire, like legions, orders, thieves, etc. So it's very easy. So you will always have place for your for your basic noble lord, for your men-at-arms, and your mounted squires. Crusaders and Sicarii and the Crusader noble lord is a bit trickier, but they're still very good. And let's be completely honest, if one day you go to a tournament with not a theist list but a pure feudal and you say my crusaders are actually men-at-arms and I have 0 crusaders, even at an official competition is going to be fine. Like, they look very, very similar. So yes, it is a good starter. Now, do you want to buy it twice? And I would say if you want to indeed to make this list of feudals plus theists, and you want later on to have like this horde of infantry, crusaders, maybe a couple knights, and of course 1 archangel or 2 later on, that is a very good box. Like, you can buy it twice. It's gonna be like 320 euros, then minus 10%, like let's say 190. Let me make the calculation. Yeah, if you buy it twice, it's gonna be less than 300 euros. It's gonna be $288 euros, and then you have tons of miniatures. Like, I mean, imagine this times 2. Like, you're gonna have 24 men-at-arms, 24 crusaders, 24 Sicarii, 6 mounted squires. You might start to have a lot of miniatures, but then again, you can proxy the like those miniatures as officers or like little boosters for units. Like, those are generic enough that you can find good uses for them. And yes, but if you want this archetype, buy it twice. Otherwise, just having it once is enough, and you have all these brand new miniatures. Now we go back in time a little bit with the 5th anniversary starter set for the 100 Kingdoms that was released in 2024. Same price, and it couldn't be more different. You have 1 Priory Commander, so it's this guy here, and those are what I call like the kind of like, okay, not Space Marine, let's call them Knights of the Grail if you would like. They have superpower from ancient times, and you have a ton of them. You have 6 Order of the Crimson Towers, which are those guys like in the back here. You have 3 Ashen Dawns, which are basically nuclear bombs on the battlefield. Like, they're unstoppable, unkillable, they cost so much, and they used to be the closest thing that the 100 Kingdoms had to monsters. Now you do have Archangels, and you have 3 Order of the Sealed Temples, which are these very fast, very mobile knights here. Plus all like measuring tool and some decals. The goodies are a little bit different, as you can see here. You don't have dice and you don't have 2D terrains in this, so do take this into consideration. The total price without all the goodies is 280, which means you have about 43% of discount. This is massive, this is huge. And this makes me say, like, if you love the order, like in this, you can still buy the starter. It's not being discounted or anything. You can still buy it on the website of Parabellum. Maybe it's going to be announced later on that it's going to be canceled at some point. I don't think so, not in the near future. And if you like it, go for it. Like, it's an even a better deal. It's a very specific type of army because, as you can see, it's full cavalry, full super elite troops. You have, I think the sealed temples are light or medium, I don't remember either. Maybe medium. Anyway, this is a very, like, in your face, very hard to pilot, not so beginners friendly in a way because, yeah, it is hard to use, but it's a great list. However, does it go well with the new starter of this year? Absolutely not. Why? Because there is a special rule called, I think it's Memory of the Red Days. Basically, the Order and the Theists used to be at war with each other, and they cannot be in the same army list. It's the only separation there is in the 100 Kingdoms. So if you buy the new starter sets and you say, like, yeah, I want to play this Ecclesiarchy army, and you want to buy this starter set for the Order, you cannot use those 2 collections in the same army list. So be very careful about this. Like, this is one of the big warning. Like, I put no with a big exclamation mark there. You will not see this very often. It will come back a few times, but it's rare that there is such a harsh restriction. If you're like, okay, I want to go all in 100 Kingdoms, I know Conquest, I know I like it anyway, and this is going to be my second army. You know you want a large collection, so one game after another, one tournament after another, you have lots of different units to choose from. Okay, maybe this tournament I'm going to play Thieves list, maybe next tournament I'm going to play Order list. Then sure, go for it. You can buy both. I'm not telling you not to do it. However, do really be careful, new players. You cannot play those Order troops at the same time as the Crusader Lord or the Sicarii or those Crusader. Well, like all these Theist units is going to be difficult, and not with the Archangel, which is this giant monster. So be very careful with this. However, this is still an absolutely insane deal. You will not see many starter sets with 43% discount. So yes, the miniatures are expensive from the base, but they are massive. Like, I mean, each knight, if you compare to the scale of, I don't know, Warhammer 40,000, each of those little knights is basically a small tank, like in terms of size. Like, those are absolutely massive, and it's a great, great box. And now we go with the oldest starter set, and I cannot recommend it anymore for one specific reason, is that you have the old men-at-arms, which, like, this is the price that it used to be priced. I think they are making a huge discount to sell those men-at-arms. They are worth, like, I think 20 euros for 12 miniatures. They really want to get rid of. The goodies are not as good either. Like, you have almost no goodies. Like, you have the old rule books, which I think are out of date by now. You do have the Mountain Noble Lord, which is nice, with some Mountain Squires, which combo well with the newest star set. Some normal knights, like the Household Knights, great. And the Household Guards, which are, like, I love them miniature with the capes, and you can build them as Gilded Legion as well. It wouldn't be such a bad deal if there was not the old men-at-arms. I think you can mix them with the new men-at-arms. Like, you put in each stand, you see that there is 4 miniatures per stand. Maybe if you put the first 2 on the front row, you put the newest miniature, and in the back you put those old men-at-arms. I think you can. It can be fine. It can really be fine. But it's not the newest miniature. So I know that psychologically it can be hard to do this. Plus, the discount is not insane at 21%. If you want to really go, like, into a full feudal list, I mean, it is good, especially since in some shops they try to get rid of those because it's the oldest starter set, and the normal price is 150, which is already a bit cheaper. But I've seen it in a shop in Paris being sold at 100 euros. So at this point, like, you start to think, like, okay, whatever, like, if it's being destocked, I will jump on it. So this is a question only you can answer. It would be, again, would be great if it was not for the old men-at-arms. I gave you the trick if you want. If you like feudals, which again can be plugged with any subfaction, go for it, and especially if you can find it cheap. Do note that the oldest starter sets are not sold anymore on Parabellum website. So that's it for the 100 Kingdoms. As you can see, there is lots of things. We didn't see any legions yet, Legions being like the, well, Gilded Legion, Steel Legion and stuff. You have also Imperial Bowmen, like archers. You have lots of units across the entire range of the 100 Kingdoms. I would recommend, if you're a new player, and especially if it's your first army, first choose a sub-faction, maybe two, and focus on them, play on them. Use those that you like the playstyle and the appearance most, and the theme and the lore. The easiest way is going to be to have one of those two sub-factions to be the feudals, because they are very easy to plug and play. But if you really would like, I mean, you can make Empire Legions plus Theists if it makes you very happy. Like, I mean, it would work. Everything can work except Order plus Theists. So have fun, start your little collection, and do have a project of where you want to go. Like, what makes you start the 100 Kingdoms? Do you want hordes of peasants and lines of infantry? Well, feudals and legions and even the theists as well are going to be great for you. So choose among that. Do you like cavalry? Maybe order plus feudals. Like, this is going to be all cavalry all the time. Great. Do you really like this mythical list, like kind of like Britannia, with hordes of peasants, maybe some inquisitors around, like Sekai, and those giant archangels? Like, this is going to be great, but then you know where you want to focus. Try to have a vision of where you want to go and start with this, and then choose the starter depending on this. The next faction is going to be the Spires, and those they are probably the most specific faction of Conquest. They're compared to elves sometimes. I'm not sure they are aliens. They use biomancy to make these absolutely terrible things that you can see. They are so far for now the most body horror oriented faction. We heard rumors that there might be an even worse one coming later on, but I cannot spoil anything yet. Their thing is that they are very fast. They have insane regeneration, which means they can repop stands and heal their wounds, etc. They are extremely combo based. They used to be the hardest faction to play. They're probably still in the top 3 of the hardest faction to play still. But if you play them well, they are absolutely lethal. Like, they're basically elves in the sense that they are a high floor, high ceiling army. However, there are some sub-factions that are easier to play. We'll see, like, the starter sets allow us to see quite a bit of difference. There is basically Under Spire as a sub-faction, which is hordes of very cheap drones, like barely conscious creatures that you can really make basically undead horde, and they respawn and respawn and respawn, and you make them explode in your enemy's head, and it's very fun. You have the Directorate, which is more like the generic faction, like the more elite troops, like with clones, with some creatures that they breed and stuff. And you have finally the Sovereign, which is the leader, like the most important Spire leader. And if you play with them, you are going to focus more with the sub-faction on the craziest, most powerful monsters and avatars that they can have. Avatars are basically war bodies on which the nobilities of the Spires project their consciousness to be on the battlefield without any risk. Yeah, they're a bit creepy. It's a bit like drone strikes in a way. Yeah. So this is the newest starter set for 2025. So this is brand new. You have one Ferromancer. So this is the guy from the Under Spire faction. You have 24 force-grown drones. This is very old miniature. Like, probably it's not going to be remade anytime soon, but those are not very expensive in the sense that everybody has it. It used to be everywhere in every starter, so you can buy them secondhand, probably very cheap. So something to take into consideration for sure. You have those 3 brood drones, which is also a very old unit that everybody has had multiples of. Like, if you buy a secondhand Spire army, there is chances you're already gonna have a lot of force-grown drones and a lot of brood drones as well. You also have 12 Strix, which look like a nightmare to paint and glue, but which are very important units. Like, they are very, very lethal if you use them well. And finally, 12 Desolation drones, which are those guys that melt armor. Very powerful unit again. Quite new sculpts actually, and quite interesting. And gameplay-wise, they're very fun. You do have all the terrains and everything. All in all, it's 215 euros brand new, and it means you have more than 25% of discounts. I'm not gonna talk too much about the second-hand market, but do have a look at it, especially if you want to place Under Spire, because really, like, force-grown drones, they are everywhere, and brood drones as well. The rest is a bit more rare. If you want to start Spires though, this is a good start. Like, if there is no second-hand market around you, all of those units are good. discounts is okay, and you will want forest ground drones, a lot of them. Like I've seen some crazy guy with 12 stands of forest ground drone in single activation. Spoiler, it's unkillable. And the brutes are good units that you can really boost a lot. Strix, you will always want at least 3 Strix, and desolation drones are very good as well. So it's a good starter. Like, you are not going wrong by buying this. Those are units that are at the core of many Spires lists. Do you want to buy it twice? Well, only really if you want to go all in and Spire, because 48 force ground drones, you start to really orient yourself in a specific playstyle. And 6 brute drones and 24 Strix. Yeah, if you want to play under Spire because you like this feeling of playing like necromancy and hordes of regenerating creatures, go for it, buy it twice. Otherwise, just once and not even always. Now, just like what we had for the 100 Kingdoms, the previous year starter had crazy discounts. This is literally the opposite. This is very much focused on the sovereign part of it. So you have one lineage highborn, which is this giant creature right there. You're gonna have 6 avatars, elite, but basic elite units for the Spires. They are basically brutes. You have 3 incarnate sentinels, which are those guys, which are the highest grade of evolution of drones and stuff. Like, they're barely conscious, but they are like extremely powerful and tough. Those are your anvil that punches people in the face. And finally, your super elite cavalry, centaur avatars, which are the equivalent of the order cavalry for the 100 Kingdoms. So this is 270 euros for the same price of the start, so discounts are huge, about 40%. And unlike the 100 Kingdoms, this might go well with the new starter set. I mean, it's a different subfaction, so usually I would recommend to go with one subfaction. That's what I usually recommend, go for one thing. But in this sense, there is nothing preventing you from playing those super elite units while having a horde of force ground drones and brutes just holding line. And those units, the avatars, the centaurs, being your very elite armor, your elite hammer, while you are cheap chaff, just absorb the enemy charges, die, but then come back to life. So there is not much combo to do here, but in terms of playstyle, it can work. So if you don't want to buy the same starter twice, the 2025 and 2024 starters can go together well. And now this is the oldest starter set. I will not spend too much time on it because it's not being sold anymore, but you have the High Clone Executor, which is like the guy from the Directorate, if I'm not mistaken. You have lots of different drones and clones, like mostly clones. You have 3 more brute drones, okay? Then you have all different types of clones. You have Vanguard clones, which can be infiltrators. You have the Bound clones, which can be onslaught, more like melee versions. And finally, the Marksman clones, which is just those not artillery, but they shoot far and fast because they are basically genetically modified archers with 3 arms, so they can shoot and reload extremely fast. It's quite fun as a concept. If you can, like, the discount used to not be crazy, so I would say, like, don't jump for it. But if you can find it cheap again, like in the shop or something, might be fine. But this is pushing you on the 3rd subfaction. Again, no hard restrictions on this, but need to understand if you really want this. So the Spires are fun. You can, like, probably if you go for the Spire, you go for one specific thing. Either you go for the giant monsters, like we know they have the like behemoth siege breakers. They're gonna have not been announced. Well, there are more stuff coming, or you want the hordes of like undead drone that just come back to life, or you like this very elite full avatar army. Usually, that's how I see it. If you do, then buy the starter you want once or twice. Otherwise, nothing prevents you from having a little bit of everything, especially if you can find a good discount. And if you don't find a good discount, always love10, the code in the description as well, when you go to the official Parabellum website. Thank you if you do that. Next factions, one of my favorites, are the Dweghoms, or the Dweghoms, as I've learned they're pronounced. Those are basically the dwarves. There is a whole sub-story. They killed the dwarves and took their place because they fused with the God of War. There is a whole story around it. Quite interesting, actually. Right now, they're basically angry dwarves, let's say. They're not very evil. They look a little bit like Chaos dwarves, but they're not like evil or anything. They have some steampunk technology. They're very aggressive, though, very like grumpy. But they're not purely evil. They're just kind of like a force of nature at this point. Their playstyle currently is that they're very slow, very good at shooting, very good at magic. However, there is a rework coming in the next couple months, and we know that they're going to be changed. Hopefully, they're going to be less prone to castling and having defensive position and being kind of like boring to play against. We will see how it goes. Like there is an interview of Stavros in the previous video that we released of the European Team Championship tournament. So have a look if you want to have some spoilers. But we, like what I say, take it with a big handful of salt. We'll try to talk in terms of collection if it's important, but in terms of playstyle, do remember that things might change. 3 sub-factions of the clan, which is the basic like core of the Dweghoms. The Ardent, which are saying like, yeah, let's go completely with the side of war, let's be very angry, let's be super berserkers and burn everything, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And the Tempered, which are the opposite, like let's control this fire that is within ourselves, and yeah, by controlling it, let's go to another plane of existence and be chill. Dwegom cannot be chill, but let's control ourselves a little bit more. We'll see what it means in terms of rules when the rework happens. The new starter is very interesting. I hope it means something. You do get the new miniature of the Steel Shaper. Be careful, there is an old, absolutely ugly miniatures of the Steel Shaper. Like, I hate it. Probably my least favorite miniature of the entire Conquest thing. Now you have the new Steel Shaper, which is brilliant. I love it. Like, probably one of the coolest dwarves I've ever seen. You have, and this is the surprise, you have 24 Fireforged. Why? And this I'm really looking forward for the rework. Are they going to be interesting? Currently, 3 Fireforged is okay. You're happy to have 3 of them as either a little side shooting unit or as some unit to put your Sorcerer later on inside. Okay. You can even put your Steel Shaper if you want, but a little bit less efficient. So this is what they are right now. They're very tough, powerful, but expensive shooting units. They're basically dwarves in skeleton, like exo armor, with a cannon on the shoulder, which is extremely cool concept. But 24, that's a lot for a starter set. You have 12 Magma Forge, which are the newest miniatures. Like they're very, very new, so very good to have them. You can build them as Flame Berserkers, but if you build them as Flame Berserkers, the Steel Shaper cannot deploy them. So be careful about this. And you have 3 Steel Forged, beautiful giant Dwegom mechas. Just love this. I played 6 of those at the latest tournament. They do so much work. Like they're great, plus they look amazing. The whole thing is 205 euros, so you have 22.5% discount about. Is it good to start the faction? I mean, I cannot tell you now because maybe the rework will come, and I don't know. Not only it's not going to be a little change, like the points will change. Like maybe they're going to rework the entire rules, maybe change the data sheets, change the keywords, the capacities. So I cannot tell you now. Like I would say that you don't have anything to hold the line. Like the Steel Forged right now are more like Dwegom Cavalry, even though they can reroll charges, but they are not made to hold the line that much. They are more like offensive hammer unit, even though they're tough. Fire Forged or Fire Support unit, like you don't want them holding line. And Magma Forged are, again, glass cannons ish. They're Dwegom, they're tough-ish. Like even if they're glass cannons, but they're really that they don't have any defensive role, but they, damn, do they pack a punch. So in terms of collection, I don't know how it is going to be, but currently you lack with this basic core units to hold the center. I guess you will use your Steel Forge for that, but wait and see for the update. And do you want to buy it twice? Absolutely not. Nobody wants 48 Fireforge. I mean, if there is a huge meta change and the rework change in Fireforge or the basic Dwegom infantry for holding light, they're much cheaper and they're change their role completely and they're not as elite as they used to be, I would be very happy because they're probably some of my favorite miniatures. And in this game changed completely what I said, and okay, great, the start is good. But currently, I don't see them making them very cheap. They're almost like they are one of the most elite unit of the Dweghoms, and you will never want to have 48 of them for 12 stands. Like, why would you need this? Like, I really don't believe this. So that's why I would say, even if Magma Forge you would love to have more, and Steel Forge as well, great to have more, this starter set you will never want, I believe, to have 2 of those. The old starter set had a crazy discount as well, almost 42% discount. You have the Vermont Rare, which is the clan leader, with his Ironclad Drake, which can be a monster, like you can use it as a free monster or as a mount for the raid. Interesting. You have more Fireforged here. Okay. And you have 24 initiates, those guys with the shield that can make like the turtle formation, or you can build them as wardens, which are ardent units, so you will need a unit like a leader that can bring them with double axes, very fast, very angry wars, kind of like berserkers, let's say, let's say elite berserkers that can capture objectives natively. Good. Does it go well with the new starter? I mean, the Ironclades is an insane discount to have at this price. The Initiate slash Wardens, yes, brilliant to have 24 of them. It's exactly what you want. But if you take the old start, like the newest starter set plus this, you start to have a lot of Fire Force. Like, again, depends on their rework, but I think this is just going to start to be too much. However, if you don't want the newest starter set because you're like, yeah, I don't want so many Fire Force, this is still a brilliant, brilliant start. 24 initiates is going to be a great way to carry any character and to hold the line to all the objectives. An Ironclad Drake is always going to be good. It's a brilliant unit right now. Then again, maybe it's going to be changed with the meta, but it's great. And just 3 Fireforged, 3 stands of Fireforged, 12 year miniatures is good. You don't want more usually. So, great starter. And the oldest starter set of the Dweghoms, if you can find it, it's actually not that bad. Like you have an old Ray, like the new plastic miniature of the old Ray, because yeah, there used to be a resin one, which was not amazing. You have 12 clan warriors, like hold warriors, that you can build as hold ballistae. This is good. This is your core of your army. You want at least 3 hold ballistae, and hold warriors maybe not, but 3 hold ballistae is always good. More fire forward because damn, why they're trying to give it, like, I mean, I love the miniatures, but please make it in the rules that I can bring 60 fire force on the table. I would be very happy, but otherwise, if you make it in the rule that I only want every 3 stands of fire force, don't give it to me in every starter. Then you have 12 Dragon Slayers, 3 stands that you can build as whole Thanes. You will probably want to build them as whole Thanes if you just buy this starter, because it combos very well with the Hold Ray, which when he is inside the Thanes, give them flank so they can come automatically. Very good. And more initiates that you can build as warden as well. So it's a good starter set. The discount is really not amazing at all. You can just see 14%. Like, I would say it's not a great deal at all. If you find it very cheap, like 80 or 100 euros, or like very, very cheap, and then the discount is important, good. Otherwise, if you want exactly those units, it's good. If you don't find it, don't run after this starter set, because it's a little bit random units. Maybe you're better off just picking exactly what you want. Like maybe you want Ardent, so you want a lot of Flame Berserkers, lots of Magma Forged, Wardens, Initiates. Maybe you want Tempered, so you want Steel Forged, Fire Forged, Magma Forged, these kind of things. Or maybe you want to play Clan, and then you want a whole lot of Hold Warriors, Hold Ballistae, Hold Thanes, this kind of thing, and Dragon Slayers, of course. So wait, like if you find it in discount, great, but it's not amazing. This one was amazing with the crazy discount and units that you will always need. That's it for the Dweghoms. I think they are the coolest faction that has ever been in Conquest, or basically in any war game ever. Like, they're very cool, they look brilliant. The whole collection is great, but do wait for the rework of the Dweghoms. And, well, obviously, I usually don't make videos for reworks of something, like of a new faction, but we're talking about Dweghoms here, so of course I will make a full analysis when it's released in April or May. This rework, I will of course cover it. So yeah, like and subscribe and so you don't miss the video. We continue with the Nords. So Nords are basically Vikings. That's their general theme. In their story, they were manipulated by the Spires that pretended to be their gods. The Ragnarok already happened. Their gods died. Many things happened in their history, and now you play Nords. So Vikings alongside a lot of creatures. You fight alongside trolls, giants, ogres, wolves, everything you can imagine. They fight side by side. So it's probably one of the most aggressive faction. The playstyle was changed a lot. They used to play like wood elves basically, which was a bit surprising when you have giant Vikings monsters. But now they play like Vikings. Like you are rewarded a lot for lots of aggression and making multiple charges and just charging left and right. They play now exactly how you think they would play. They're basically very, very fragile. You've seen it in the last tournament report. I just rolled on this poor Nords player, because when their plan fails and they don't jump on the enemy, but the enemy jumps on them, they have low defense and they just evaporate. However, they're fast. They're very good if they stay in the forest. They have no malus on jumping out of the forest while their opponent has. So they really play with the terrain, stay hidden. in the water, in the lakes, in the forest, and jump on the enemy at the last moment, and then they punch way above their weight class. Like a very cheap unit can just obliterate a very expensive tanky unit if they charge from the flank with a good positioning. So yeah, it is not very easy to play, but it's very fun. You basically have the mortals, all the hordes of humans, the different raiders, the Huskals. I think even even the Valkyries are mortals. You have the half-bloods, all the monsters, the troll, the ogres, the wolves, like these things, and the exalted, which is the superhumans. And there you have the steel chosen, the bow chosen, all the like basically those that have the blood of the gods. Maybe the Valkyries are there, I don't know. And you also have all the giants, which I don't know which sub-faction they are, actually, I forgot. But you have all the giants, the sea giant, the sea Jotnar, the mountain Jotnar, the what are they there? Sea ice Jotnar, snow Jotnar. You have all the Jotnars, and you even have a Jotnar character if you want to make a full giant army, which is apparently competitive. I've seen them steamroll someone else, and you play basically Imperial Knights at this point. You have like 8 miniatures on the table, and each of them is just a beast. The new starter set of 2025 is for the mortals. You have hordes of infantry and very good, very elite infantry. This is what I like in Conquest, so do take my opinion with a grain of salt. This is exactly what I like, so I will say yes, this is amazing. You have one Jarl, so the basic human leader. You have 24 Huskals, so amazing little turtle formation for the Jarl. You put 5 stands of Huskals with the Jarl with some boost, even 6 Huskals if you want, and then you just charge forward and it's gonna be amazing. Okay, love it. You have 24 Wolfenars, which are those wolf guys that just make a blur of attacks. Those are not very resilient, but if you can manage to play them in 2x3 and flank the enemy, they're amazing. And finally, you have 12 Berserk. Well, it's a play on the word like Berserk, but they're from the bears. So Berserk. Those have a huge axe. They just punch through armor like it was butter. They're very powerful. They are your hammer unit for sure. You have about 33% discount with this because everything without considering the goodies is 240 euros. Okay. To buy it once, I think it's mandatory. Not only are those units quite meta currently, like Ulfenars, Berserk, all of them very meta right now, even the Huskals are not bad. So I would say if you play Nords, you can buy this with your eyes closed. Except if you like, okay, I want a skew list, I want only giants, then obviously don't buy anything that is not a giant. But if you want to make any type of mixed list for the Nords, this is a great purchase. Do you want to buy it twice? Maybe not. It saddens me to say this, but you probably don't want 48 Huskals and 48 Ulfenars. Except you don't want to over Dwegom the Dweghoms by making huge blocks of infantry. You probably want it only once and then you buy something else. As cool as the concept is to have those hordes of Vikings jumping at you, you probably want some light units, some cavalry, maybe some shooting units later on. And this is already a lot of points in this, so you will want some other stuff for your tournaments at 2000 points. So probably buy it for sure once, but only once. The 5th anniversary 2024 starter set is again very different. We like this. It's more on the half-blood part. You have the Vargar Lord, which is basically this werewolf lord, with 3 werewolves that you will go inside and give them flank. Very good. Then you have those wolves like the Fenrir Beast Pack wargs. Very good units, fragile but very powerful. You have a Mountain Jotnar, not the Artisan series, the old plastic one, which is a bit sad, which is why I will not recommend instantly to have this, because it's the old miniature, like the basic plastic miniature of the Jotnar, but still it's good. It's the cheapest in terms of points and least effective Jotnar, like giant, but still giant, so it punches very hard. And finally, you have 3 ogres that are, again, very good, very powerful units. Does it go well with the new starter set? Yes, you have about 40% discount, and you have some good diversity, like your Huskals and everything, they will hold the line, and those are good, like the ogres and the mountain giant can hold the line as well, and you have more flankers to go around, especially the wolf, they're very fast, all of them. They go great together. The new starter and this starter is very good. If you want to play pure monsters, which I know some players do, you can absolutely buy this starter twice. Like, I know we talk mostly about the new 2025 starter, but this starter 2025, don't buy it twice. Once is very good and you're very happy. You can combo this one with this one and you will be very happy. However, this one is something you can buy once, but you can also buy it twice, because basically the supremacy, like special capacity of this guy, the Vargar Lord, is that you can help your half-blood units to come automatically more often, blah, blah, blah. Okay, very good. If you buy this starter set twice, you're gonna have a huge pressure mid-turn. By turn 3, you're gonna have hordes of armies like on the table, and it's just gonna be very efficient. So this one you can spam if you would like. Finally, the old starter set, is it good? Let's go very fast. The new starter set, like if you want to play Half-Blood, it's gonna be interesting, the 2024 one. This you have a Blooded, which is basically a Jarl but angrier and stronger. You have the Ogres right here, which we know and like. The Fanger Beast Packs we like as well. You have Stalkers, which are meh, like they're versatile, but they're not crazy. They're a bit cheap, but they don't do anything great. And Trolls, which are variant, like they have better regeneration than Ogres, but they go good together. I mean, it's not a bad starter set. If you find it cheap, it's okay, because you have base 23%. So again, if you use Love 10, but no, you cannot use it anymore. But if you find, I don't know, for 100 euros, sure, consider it. But otherwise, this is much better discount and with better units. Like, I mean, the Vargar and the Werewolves are amazing, while Stalkers are, and Trolls, okay, maybe you will buy it off second-hand market at some point. So yeah, for Nords, this is your main starter set, and this one as well. This one, yeah. Nords are a very fun army. I mean, they now play as they always were meant to play, I believe. They are very fun, very aggressive. They do take some training to learn that they need to play with the terrain absolutely. Otherwise, in open plane, like they will get overrun. But they are super fun. If you have some friends that say like, yeah, I played Nords for like 3 or 4 years ago, they were so fragile, what the hell? I have to play like a wood elf, like making skirmishes. Don't worry, it has been corrected. And if you like the aesthetics of the faction, they're currently, I think, one of the top factions, and they're just tons of fun. Like, games are usually ending quite fast because they're all about early game pressure, and then they collapse and we see who won. They're just tons of fun if you like the aesthetics. Another faction that you've seen often on the channel are the Woodrune. They're a very cool concept army. They're basically orcs, like they're not really orcs, but we see the inspiration of those. They don't play as you would expect orcs. They are very much a combo-based army. They like have this singing system. When you activate unit after unit, it makes a crescendo, and then when you activate the sing, the chant, the unit that receives it is super strong the longer you wait. It basically is like this. It's easier to play because now you cannot lose your chant because you miscalculated. Now you can keep it in reserve and trigger it at the maximum power at the moment you decide. So now it's for sure one of the top faction. There's going to be some changes, especially the super strong unit, which are the Slingers. They were absolutely OP, and they are going to be fixed. Like the team that won the tournament of the European Teams Championship, their Woodrune list had like 3 packs of Slingers. Like, it was not very fun to play against. Things are going to get buffed and or nerfed accordingly. We've had some teasers of the changes of the Woodrune. I don't think I am allowed to share them with you, but basically everything that was super OP is going to be a little bit nerfed or side graded, so you cannot just make the crazy stupid combo that was before. And lots of units that were underused, like, I don't know, Chosen of Death, for example, which I'm not supposed to give an example, but units that were underperforming are going to get boost, so that is very nice. If you play with Woodrunes, probably you like orcs, you like this very interesting like South American aesthetics, but probably you also play them because you like dinosaurs, and indeed the speakers are the dinosaurs. You can make a full, what we call in Paris the Jurassic Park list, with all the different Tyrannosaur, I don't know, Diplodocus, is it Diplodocus? Brachiosaur, Triceratops, Raptors. You can have the little, the one that looks like a little dog. You can, forgot their scientific name, but yeah, basically the hunting packs. You can have so many different dinosaurs, and of course the giant Tauntaur, the largest miniatures of Conquest and possibly of most of the war games. They are very fun. You have the cults, the 4 cults Conquest, Death, War, and Famine, each of them being very different from each other and having a very different playstyle and aesthetics. Love the cults, especially the Cult of War, obviously because they look like Dweghoms. And you have the tribes, all the different basic Woodrunes, orcs like the Slingers, the Hunters, the Braves, the Blooded, and all of this, like the Veteran and everything. The new starter set is with a chieftain, so one guy from the tribe, and it's actually a super good starter set. I mean, to have it once, like you have the chieftain, very good. You have 24 veterans, okay, which are elite units that are going to hold the line. Used to be that Woodrunes just couldn't hold objectives, they were not tanky enough. And let me tell you that with 6 tens of veterans that you can play 2x3 or one big pack, you will hold the line. You have 3 Warbreds which are going to get a nice rework. We had some teasers and they've always been interesting and they are still going to be interesting. And finally 3 Thunder Riders which are super heavy cavalry. Quite slow, but damn, like they're basically unstoppable wall. Like, you just don't stay in front of them. Those units are all good. I mean, I know some people play this for, like, again, all these suggestions that I give to you is related of what you want to do. I know many people go to Woodrunes to have as many dinosaurs as you can. Here you have lots of orcs and those kind of like ogres things, and only 3 dinosaurs. So if you hate this, don't buy the starter. But as a general collection for someone that likes Woodrunes in general, this is a very good base. However, I don't think you should buy it twice. Like, you have about 30% discount, which is good, but not good enough for me to tell you like, yeah, buy it twice, whatever, if there is some units that you don't use. 48 veteran starts to be a bit too much. I don't think you will play 48 veteran. 6 Thunder Riders is okay, but you will see that you have other ways to get them. And 6 Warbreds, I think it starts to be too much as well. So yeah, buy it once, a little bit like the Nords. Buy it once, you will be happy. You don't have to buy it because there are some other starters, but you will be happy to have it, but don't buy it twice. For the old 5th anniversary starter set, this one is interesting. You have a chieftain again. Usually they change the character, but here no. You have 12 veterans, so we already see the combo. You start to have a little bit more, but not too much. That's interesting. You have 12 braves that you can build as blooded in the back. So if I remember right, the blooded are those with the shield because they're uncontrollable. They can shields try to make them survive. And the braves are, or is it the other way around? Anyway, you have basic orcs, and you have 3 Thunder Riders more. So you can start to accumulate. You can see that it starts to sound like you can really buy the 2025 and 2024 starters and have a very good, varied, massive army. And finally, 3 Raptor Riders, which are very emblematic of Conquest. Like if you play Woodrune, of course you will want at some point Raptor Riders, and this is a good way to have it. 32%, so even better discount with this guy. And yeah, you can go with one or the other, depends on what you want. If you want more dinosaur, this is good. 12 Veteran, you maybe would like a bit more, but you have still your Thunder Riders, and Raptor Riders is great, and some Blooded. With Blooded, maybe not so great. Or you go here, you have more Veteran, great, Thunder Rider still, but you have Warbred instead of Raptor Rider, which depends on your feeling. I actually prefer the Warbred in terms of both aesthetics and play style than the Raptor Riders, but again, I'm a Dweghoms player, so don't listen to me. Like, of course, if something is slow and tough, I will like it. The old starter set used to be interesting. It's still interesting. You have a Predator, okay, that goes very well with the Slingers. However, again, they are going to be nerfed, like one way or another. So if I recorded this video 1 month ago, I would tell you like, yeah, go for it, Predator plus Slingers, absolutely OP. It will change. You can maybe build them as hunters. The Braves, again, that you can be less blooded, okay, they're fine. Hunting packs are actually interesting. Like they are a real thorn on the side of your opponent. I don't see many people playing them well, but then when they are played well, they really punch above their points cost by far. Like they're very threatening. And finally, more Raptor Rider is good. The variety is good. If you can find this guy cheap, I mean, you can buy all 3 of the starters and they combo well. Like if you buy this, you will have like 24 blooded. If you buy the 3 starters, you're gonna have 36 veterans, okay, 6 Thunder Riders, 6 Raptor Riders, 1 hunting pack, and 1 unit of Warbred. Actually, that's a good collection, 1 of each. I think it's gonna be the only army for which I say, if you can find the old starter sets in discounts, and well, that's not to be a huge budget, but if you want, you buy all of this, and you have your Conquest army, 2,000 points, with lots of variety, probably more than 2,000 points, damn. And yeah, that's very good. But then you will want probably later on, of course, some apex predator, the giant T-Rex. You will want the giant Tauntaur, obviously. You will want the Thunder Chieftain. So don't listen to me. Like, it is a good way. Like, all of them are cheap, and you could make them combo together. But my best tip will probably be to buy one starter, maybe two, probably those two, indeed, and then to buy what you want later on. An apex if you want, because of course you want an apex. Maybe a Tauntaur, Thunder Chieftain is great. The giant Quaddle is maybe not necessary, but there is something else. Indeed, there is a new two-player starter sets, and the Wadroons are in there. So there is the Yoronis, so those Japanese-ish demons. We'll talk about them later. But the other half is Wadroons, and the starter set is 200 euros. And without the goodies, and there are lots of goodies, lots of dice, the map of the world command, like quick start guides, measuring tool, blah, blah. Without the goodies, it's 420 euros, which means we are above 50% discount. It means that if you find a Yoroni player with whom to share, and if you're a Wadroon player, this is your day because everybody wants to play Yoroni. It's a great faction, great aesthetics, perfect for beginners, very easy to play. We'll talk about Yoronis later. But you will have no problem selling your Yoronis, like I promise, like for sure. You can even try to make a margin and save more and pay only 80 and he pays 120 because really it's a good deal for the Yoronis as well. And you, what do you get for maximum 100 euros, even without including the goodies? You have a Quaddle, this giant creature, which alone costs 130 euros, if I'm not mistaken. So just this is cheaper to have it in your half than to buy it alone. And then you have for free, like more than for free because you don't pay the full price for the Quaddle, you have 3 Raptor Riders and 3 hunting packs. What the hell? Of course, jump on it. I think it's gonna be temporary, I believe. I don't like to give this type of information. It's like, yeah, go, buy. But if you know you want to play Wadroons, like if you're hesitating, okay, take a minute to think. No. But if you know you want to play Wadroon and you want the Quaddle, this is something else. Like it's a bit skirmishing unit. Maybe you don't want the Quaddle, but if you want a Quaddle, this is an insane deal. I don't know how Parabellum makes money on this. I don't know if they make money on this, but damn, like, this is an insane deal. So you can buy the, I'm just thinking, you buy this, not 200 but 180 euros because you're gonna use Love 10. Thank you very much. We get like 5 or 10% back. So thank you very much. It helps the channel. You're gonna buy this 180 euros. You're gonna make the Yoroni player pay like 120 because this is still a great deal for them, for all their brand new units. You're gonna have paid 60 euros for all of this. For the Quaddle, you will have paid less than half the price of a Quaddle to have a Quaddle plus 3 Raptor Riders plus and the goodies. This is insane. Like this is an absolutely amazing deal. I don't know how long it's gonna be available, but while it's available, like I don't need to explain to you. Like the half 200 euros and just this miniature is 130. And it's massive. Like, I don't know if you've seen, it's 130 euros. It's not overpriced. The wings are like this. Yeah, well, yeah, like this, the wings, and then you have the body. Like it's absolutely massive. Like I don't understand how they make money on this starter set, but if you find it, for sure buy it. There, Drones are an incredible army. They may be tricky to paint. Like I've seen some people spend a lot of time on the feathers and everything, so it can be tricky. The slingers are a pain to build. Like I know this. Yes, and complain to me a lot, but they're a very, very cool army on the table. Like, I mean, orcs riding dinosaurs. Like, do I need to say more? I don't even like orcs that much, except the Chosen of War, which are amazing, and I would probably collect just to have them in my collection. But I don't even like orcs, and just this concept is so amazing, and with this South American style, that whenever I play against them, I just... it's a beautiful table every single time. If you want, we have a lot of battle reports with the Dweghoms versus Wadroons, because it used to be the only 2 armies that we had, and now we have a few more. But you can find a lot of them in our playlist. We have a Conquest battle report playlist, so have a look if you're interested. And we go to the Old Dominion, the current top faction in the meta. Maybe it's gonna change, I hope, because damn, they're strong. They are extremely cool in terms of concept. They are basically the Roman Empire, which was destroyed by rebelling against their gods, and they are now undead. They have aesthetics from both Western and Eastern, so Byzantine Roman Empire, powered by the god of death, Aslia. They are very slow, They take a while to power up. The more they get losses, the more they power up, and at the end they're unstoppable. They play attrition very well. Better if you play in tournament, better to play fast and to push your opponent to play fast, because they will need to make all their points in the later part of the game. So if you play the half of the game, they're not gonna win. The key thing is that they don't have morale. Like they don't have resolve. Like usually half of the damage you take, maybe a little bit less than half, is from morale, and those guys just ignore it. It means they're mechanically a little bit more weak against shooting attacks, which don't trigger resolve anyway. But they're just brutal. They're tougher than Dweghoms. Like they are unmovable. They're also at the core of the lore. Like if you like the lore, they're really like everything starts with the Old Dominion. Like almost everything. They're really at the heart, and they're very strong. You have the legions, which are these hordes of like Roman legions. You have the final creeds, all the priests, the cultists, the like kind of like fallen angels and stuff, and the fallen pantheon, which is really like the fallen divinity and all the units that gravitate around her. Fallen divinity is the strongest miniature like unit in the game right now, and it's so strong that it warps the entire game. Like if one of the player has a fallen divinity, it's not a war game anymore. It's, can one player kill the fallen divinity before it powers up too much and just become unstoppable? Or you can play the points, I guess. So the new starter set. Old Dominion player, not only is your faction top tier meta, but on top of this you have amazing starter. Though the discount is not great. Like the units are amazing, but you have only 22% of discount. But it's units that you love anyway. So you have the Auxiliarch, which is a very strong character, like a great duelist and everything. Perfect. You're gonna have 12 Legionnaires, which are those guys here, that you can build as the more elite Praetorians, but Legionnaires you want a lot of them. You have 12 Athenatoi with double swords, very fast, very good at cleaning the chaff. 12 Varangian Guards, which are basically the Berserks that we've said before, or Dragon Slayers. They are slow, but they do so much damage, and they're a little bit glass cannon, but you don't care about being glass cannon when you don't take resolve damage anyway, and you have 6 wounds. I hate Varangian Guards. And you have 3 Centaur Prodromoi, not sure what to pronounce, which are these melee centaurs. I believe you can have a dual build and make them as archer centaurs. And anyway, they are cheap cavalry. Like you have the Cataphractoi, which is the very cool heavy cavalry, but those are more like medium cavalry. And they're faster, more elite Praetorian Guards, like say, and a bit quicker. But they're a side grade, but they're a good unit. They're a very good unit for the pressure. Is it good to buy it once? Absolutely. If you start the faction, this is a little bit of everything you want. You want Legionnaires, you want Varangian Guards, you want all of this, for sure. It's the core of your army every single time. So yes, buy it once without even asking a question. And buying twice, I would say yes. 24 Legionnaire, it starts to be the minimum. Like 24 Varangian Guards, yes, very good. Like you might make 2 times 3 maybe, like it's not a bad idea actually at all. Or maybe you will make a pack of 5, like if you want to make a really threatening area to just one-shot some Ashen Dawn or something, it's great. And again, Athenatois, 3 times 3 or 1 times 5, it's always going to be interesting. And 2 Auxiliar, but you can use a second miniature for whatever. And the Centaurs, either you make the alternative build, so 3 for melee, 3 for archers, or just having 2 different cavalry units, 1 of each flank, is great. You can buy it twice without any issue, for sure. The discount is okay, that's why I'm not saying like yes, buy it absolutely twice, but all the units are good, and that's what you want in a starter, right? Then the old starter set of 2024 is still absolutely brilliant. I mean, it is a little bit one direction, let's say. You have an Archimandrite, which is this priest mage right there. You have 24 Praetorian Guards that you see here that you can build as Legionnaires, so we know how good it is. You will probably want in your collection at some point to have 24 Praetorian Guards and I suppose 36 Legionnaires. Again, you can proxy as always if you don't want to have everything. Maybe magnetize, I don't know, the head or the shields, so you can make a difference with those. But infantry, like the basic infantry, you want a lot of. You have 6 bone golems around, and you have, I didn't put it in the list, but it is counted for sure. Yeah, we don't see them much on the pictures, but you also have 12 Keres, which are those ghosts that teleport around, they're very annoying. Or the Moroi, which are the shooty units, also quite annoying to, and light units, very efficient. And you have 6 bone golems, which is a lot, absolutely a lot. Like, they're very tall, very elite. You will never need more than 6 bone golems, so don't buy the starter twice, even except if you have a very weird idea of putting 12 bone golems. I mean, if you bring 12 bone golems on the table, either you're gonna have a bad game, either your opponents, but it starts to be a skill list. However, this is a great addition to the starter set. Like, they combo so well. If you have a bit of everything, you have the Gizeliarch, you have the elite infantry and centaurs, and the base of the legionnaires. And here you have more legionnaires / praetorian guards, the bone golems, very hard-hitting heavy units, and some Moroi for the early games. Plus the Archimandrite, which is good support for your Auxiliarch. Like, I mean, those two starter sets go extremely well together, and 41% discount. Like, wow, great starters. The old starter, I mean, it is interesting. You have the Strategos. Was it Strategos? Yes, it is indeed called Strategos. I thought it sounded like a city-state's name for some reason. Yeah, they used to be the same faction, so it makes sense. Anyway, you have here in the old starter set 24 Praetorian Guards / Legionnaires, so this we like. I mean, at some point you heard like 24 Praetorian Guards, maybe 36, and 24 / 36 Legionnaires is enough, so at some point you will need to stop buying them. But you have 12 Attenantoi as well, and the Cataphractoi, which are the super heavy cavalry equivalent of the Household Knights or even the Crimson Tower of the 100 Kingdoms. Yeah, they're not as strong as Ashen Dawn, but still they're good heavy cavalry for really like breaching and pushing on with the special rule. I will not talk more special rules too much, but does it go good with the new starter? Yeah, they're just good complements. Like, you get more Tenatoi, which you had only 12 of otherwise. More Praetorian Guards. Like, I mean, if you start to buy everything, you're gonna have how much? Like 12, 36. Yeah, if you buy, indeed, if you buy all 3 starters, like, again, you will have 36 Legionnaires, so 9 stands. You will play them 3 times 3, and 24 Praetorian Guards, so 6 stands, which will be 1 big block for your Auxiliarch to be inside and just be a giant anvil in the center of the table. And you get some Cataphractoi, which are good. Like, I mean, they do. I think there are some of the units that require to have a good level of dark power. I won't go into the rules. Basically, they need to be late game unit because lots of other units need to be dead for them to activate very easily, and maybe twice their super strong capacity that boosts their charge. Basically, if I can make it simple. So it depends on the playstyle, but all of the starters are good. Like, all of the Old Dominion starters are good. Some of them are better than others. Like, this one is insane. If I would recommend, I would say take both of those, except you find this one somewhere for cheap. Like, again, this is a very old one. You cannot even order it on the internet. So, of course, if you find it at half the price, go for it. It's great. But otherwise, those are anyway the more interesting ones in terms of unit composition, with units like Varangian Guards in there and Centaurs. Centaurs are very new units. They look absolutely brilliant. Old Dominion are currently the top faction in the meta. Don't buy them because of this. It will change, I believe. Like, they're going to be nerfed somehow. Maybe they're going to play around this no resolve rule at some point. Like, I mean, they could make something to, so they're not just completely immune to half of the game. But if you like this slow play style with this very cool aesthetics as well, I mean, you've seen them. Their units are absolutely brilliant. Like, they're magnificent. If you like this type of play style, if you like to play Roman Empire or Undeads or Undead Roman Empire or Fallen Pantheon with Giant Eagle, like, we didn't see everything, but they have Undead Minotaurs in like ceremony armor. Like, they look incredible. You have these statues animated by dark power, either with melee weapons or these dark energy bows. Like, this is insane. The centaurs, especially the centaur archers with their giant wings, are brilliant. And the Fallen Divinity, I don't like it personally, but there is a upcoming unit for another faction that screams Fallen Divinity to me, with all the wings, and it looks like a fallen angel, and you will be able to proc it. Old Dominion, like I say often, if I didn't play Dweghoms, I would play Old Dominion because, well, first of all, it's my playstyle, so I can consider if you prefer glass cannon, it's not for you. but damn, they look so good on the table. I will, it's a bias, but I will just say that the two armies that won the best painted prize at the European Teams Championship were two Old Dominion armies, painted very differently, but they're just such brilliant miniatures with so much detail. You can make beautiful armies out of it. They look great on the table. Okay, we are reaching the end, like almost. We have 3 more factions to go. First, let's check the city-states. Probably one of the most popular factions in France, and probably around as well, I believe. Again, bias. They're basically Greeks, ancient Greeks, with some people say steampunk, but it's apparently it's called arcane punk because it's not made of steam, but the technology, but made of magic. They're basically survivors of the Old Dominion. We'll see the next faction is also survivors of the Old Dominion. And the 100 Kingdom also were survivors of the Old Dominion. 100 Kingdom is basically refugees. City-states are those that started to live before the collapse of the Old Dominion and started to say, like, let's make our life good and restart very far away while keeping our knowledge and technology and everything. So they made the city-states. They are prosperous. I will not go into the lore too much. You can go... if you speak French, there is IGTV and Babuin Game. They make very good tutorials, like lore introductions. Otherwise, you can look at their official Parabellum videos or other YouTubers that make this for the lore. In terms of playstyle, they are extremely defensive in the sense that they really are depending on your good positioning. If the enemy charges you head on, you have so many defensive rules, you will hold the line, for sure. Like they have shield, phalanx, what is the name, like yeah, phalanx, and there is another one, anyway, pike formation as well. Like you can take the cavalry charge head on, no worries. Like of course if you have like if you have 3 Ashendorn charging your cheapest unit from the front, maybe it will not go so good, but overall if you position yourself well, they will hold the line, allowing you to make counterattacks thanks to their few different counterpunch units. They have chariots, like yes, like in Benur and like in Gladiator and stuff. They do have giant minotaurs, a few variants of them. They also have giants, kind of like the Nords, and actually there is a combo, like the leader character of the Nords that allows you to play pure giants also can be built, like I think you change a weapon, and it can be built in the city-states, the same, to make a pure army of giants, even though they call them titans in the city-states. They are very, very beautiful miniatures as well. You also have some more esoteric units. You have the Inquisitors, this is their real name, Inquisitors, which are bio-horrors, monsters of nightmares, I don't know what to call them, like they look terrible. I thought when we had the stat line that would be super cool, Spartans in mech armor, and no, they are, like, I think we will see them, you will see they give me nightmares. You have some centaurs as well for shooting or flanking. You have a lot of variety, but basically the core of your army is going to be some infantry. You have quite a few. You have hoplites, phalangites, you have agemas, you have clockwork hoplites, like really arcane punk soldiers made of basically clockworks. You have a lot of infantry that will hold the line. You will have low shooting, low cavalry, but you will have a system. I'll not go in detail too much in the rules, I always want to say too much. But basically you can keep a card in reserve, it allows you to pass some time, and then you can make a double activation with your infantry that absorb the charge. They gotta punch and then disengage, and then the unit before you make a double activation, they take the spot and they counter punch very hard. A little bit like this weird scene in the Hobbit, in the Battle of Five Armies. If you've ever seen, like with the dwarves having the shield and then some elves jump in front of them and start to attack. Well, imagine if it was less stupid and the dwarves are just here to absorb the charge and then go back and the elves go after absorbing the charge. That would be how the city-states play. They are not a super easy army for beginners. Like, I mean, they look great, so many beginners play. But if your main defensive units get attacked in the flanks, they collapse, like strictly speaking. Like hoplites with all the defensive rule, cavalry goes from the front, they will do no damage, neither from the charge, neither from the attack, because you're going to have a huge defense. You cancel the charge hits, it's great. Cavalry attacks hoplites from the flanks, you have no defense, and you collapse the same as the little raiders from the north. Even worse, actually, because you have no evasion. So be careful, it's not super easy to play. So the new starter set, is it interesting? Well, you do have interesting units for sure. On the 22% discount, you have the Mechanist, which is not the main character that you want, but it's okay. It's like a support character with some spells. with a good warband that units you can unlock. You have the basic hoplites, 12 of those. You can build them as phalangites as well. I didn't write it, but yeah, you can build hoplites as phalangites. You have 12 agemas here, elite infantry, more mobile. Basically, yeah, your elite infantry. It's the equivalent of your Praetorian Guard or Whole Thanes or Household Guard, like your very elite core infantry. You can build them as Thorakites, which are very fast, early game light unit that you can upgrade with Minotaur. Like, there's some very fun combo. It's very good, but it's also a great unit. Clockwork Hoplites, which are heavy units, which I think become medium in his warband if he is your warlord. I might be mistaken. Maybe the rules changed, but those are very good. Like, they have no result, like a whole dominion. They are the tankiest units you have in the city states. And finally, some Clockwork Hoplites, which makes me like, they are good. They are fast glass cannons, very lethal, but very fragile as well. And I'm just thinking, like, what could have been, like, just replace those horrible units. The paint job is amazing as well because they really looked horrible. Replace them with giant mechs of Arcane Punk or giant Clockwork Hoplites with a Spartan inside piloting it. Would have been such a cool thematic steampunk, Arcane Punk Greeks. What could have been. But yeah, I understand where they were going with this. This is the dark side of the city-states. I just wish there were like golden paladins. I like my paladins. Overall, is it good to start the faction? I mean, Mechanist, you maybe will not play it often, even though, I mean, it's not terrible. But all of the units are, yeah, let's say good. Like, even the Inquisitors, 3 of them is good. Hoplites is a good core, Agemas for sure, Clockwork Hoplites for sure, and Inquisitors, they're a good counterpunch unit. I need to go beyond my hate for the design and say, like, yeah, they are efficient units as well. So yes, it's a good thing to buy once, if you don't hate Inquisitors like I do. Do you want to buy it twice? Like, I mean, it's not a terrible idea to buy it twice, but all of the units, every single one of them, except maybe the Mechanist, like the character, is happy to have twice. 24 phalangites or hoplites is great, and again, you have alternative versions. Same for the agemas. Having 24 agemas is great for a big pack, defensive pack, or to have 3 agemas and 3 thorakites or 6 thorakites. Like, you can really mix and match. 24 clockwork hoplites is a great anvil to hold the central objective. And Inquisitors, you'll probably play them 2 times 3, but still play them like, kind of like cavalry, and they're going to be very efficient. So once for sure, twice. If you don't find any better deal, yes, you can buy it twice. Why you will maybe not buy it twice? Because the old starter set is there, and it's brilliant. It's really good. Better discount, almost 40% discount, so much better. You have a Polemarch, your melee character, like, it's just a beast. It's one of the few characters that can threaten my whole Thane from the Dweghoms, even if I'm geared towards combat. I mean, full Hold Thane, full Hold Hair equipped for combat against Polemarch. I mean, I'm not sure I'll kill him, and he will not kill me. That's how good he is. And he's a good leader and everything. Let's skip to the rules. He's a good leader and combat character. You get 24 gemas, which you might start to think it's too much, but remember, you can build them as Thorakites. So even if you mix the starters, you're going to have maybe 24 gemas and 12 Thorakites. You have 3 Minotaur Harpists, which can be built as Therians. It's always good to have Minotaurs. You can play them as pure units of Minotaurs with shields to hold the line or with a double-handed hammer. I would recommend the version with hammer because, first of all, it looks cooler, and second of all, even if you don't play Minotaur with hammers, you can plug 1 Minotaur Therian in a unit of 3 Thorakites to really boost considerably the punch power. And finally, what makes the discount so good is that you have a giant Titan and a Phaestian, which can be built as a Promethean. And I mean, it's not super OP. It's more like a support monster, both of them, both versions. But still, it's just such a good deal. Like, this monster is, like, again, 130 years, I believe, or maybe 100. Anyway, the whole thing is 265, and for the price, you have 40% discount. So yeah, it's insane. Yeah, I do believe it's 130 now, the Titan. Anyway, does it go well with the new starter set? Yes, absolutely. Like, again, some starters I say no. Like, remember the 100 Kingdoms or even other factions like the Dweghoms as well. But for the city-states, just like it was the case for the Old Dominion, it's a very good idea to have this new starter set and the old one. And again, if you do this and you use Love 10, it's very thank you, because that's gonna start to be quite a lot for a discount for me as well. But thank you guys, and for you it's a great deal. Like all of those, like you have great discounts, and all the units work well together, except the Inquisitor, which I don't like the name. But again, if you like it, you will not regret any miniature. Every single unit is gonna be good, and yeah, it's better to buy this together than buying it twice. This one you could buy twice, but no, you would have two giants, two titans. No, really, you need to buy one of each. That's how it goes. And finally, the old starter set, which was interesting actually. You have two units, two boxes equivalent of hoplites / phalangites, which is good. It's good. Like, I mean, they're old units, but they look good and they are efficient on the table. 12 Agemas, 3 Minotaurs, and the Aristarch, which is another unit entirely again. If you want to have a look at how all of those city-states play, we made a battle report at Iggy TV, link in the description, which is a French channel, and there are some subtitles, and one of the 4 armies, because we played 2 versus 2, is city-states, and you will see how they play with the Thoracites, with Minotaurs, the Phalangites, even the cavalry, which, because they do have some companion cavalry as well. Going back to the old starter, how does it actually play? Well, actually it plays good, and the discount is not insignificant. So the only problem with this is that you will need to struggle to find it somewhere. But if you find it in the shop, maybe even with a discount, yes, it's absolutely a great deal. It might even replace, yeah, it might replace this starter set, but then again, it's such a great discount. I mean, if you find it very cheap, go for it, but it's your least priority. But if you already bought the first 2 starters that you see right here, and you see this one, I don't know, 100 euros, you can go for it. You will have lots more basic infantry with the hoplites, but it's okay. 6 Minotaurs is good. Maybe you will want a pack of 3 or 4 or 5, and then just 1 Minotaur to put in another unit, can work. And Agemas / Thoracites, you want a lot of them, this is your core infantry. And the Aristarch is also a good character. Overall, if you play city-states and you're a new player, I mean, you're in luck. Like, all the starters are good. You can go for any of them and maybe try to mix them. Don't spam a single starter, but all of them are good. The army is one of the weaker one of the weakest one right now. Like, maybe not the weakest army for sure, but one of the weaker one. However, we know there is going to be a huge up, not a rework, not a massive rework in terms of like new data sheets, changing the rules, etc. It's just like they were overcosted, I believe. So they're gonna give them a couple extra rules per unit, maybe, and reducing the points as well, probably. And the army is going to be stronger. Like, Parabellum is very well aware that not only it's harder to master, because if you get taken in the flank, you just collapse, but also there are some units were overcosted, because they're always considered that yes, you can make double activations, but sometimes you will not, and needs to be counted into the price of the units. So don't worry if you heard that the city-states are weak right now. They're not going to be for long at all. Plus, they're such a cool army on the table. And yeah, like, I mean, who doesn't want to play this? Like, I mean, come on. What used to be the latest faction released is the Sorcerer Kings, and damn, have they taken the world in a rush. I mean, it is a huge success in Paris, but I thought it was our microcosm, because there was such a huge success for the city-states that I was like, okay, Sorcerer Kings, it's a little bit more niche, like Arcane Punk, Ancient Greeks, with all this this is Sparta memes and stuff. I understand why it was a huge commercial success. Sorcerer Kings, I loved it, but I was like, maybe it's a bit too niche for it to have a huge success. Apparently, it's even a bigger sales success than the city-state, which is very much warranted because the miniatures are insane. I know that I heard that the Dweghoms don't sell so much. It's actually the least selling faction, which makes my little dwarven heart very sad. But again, like, they're a bit bulky, and the old miniatures are so bulky that I'm like, yeah, sure. But the Sorcerer Kings, I mean, they are so, like, the gap in terms of miniature quality is incredible, absolutely insane. So who are they? They're another faction that is descending from the Old Dominion. They're actually the mages that basically destroy the old god of the Old Dominion, transforming him into a god of death. completely collapsed the entire east of the continent. And once it was done, they just escaped and went on the ocean. And since they couldn't find land, well, they just used their super strong magic to just pop up some islands out of the ocean floor and settle it. And they are super, like, almost high fantasy force because they are controlling the elements earth, fire, air, and water, and so they have very high level of life. Like they're quite like citizens are happy, let's say in general. They used to be a very high complexity army. When they were released, they have a system of making rituals where you need to. I will not even try to explain the whole system. It was very complex for not a great payoff, and it was the most complex faction at launch. Like even Spires were easy. Next, I barely exaggerate. Now they reworked everything, and there's going to be another simplification wave for the Sorcerer Kings, so they're easier. They do have the best magic in the game, bar none, which makes sense when you see the name.
Philippe, it's been already 2 hours that you talk.
Yes, I'm almost done. All the new releases allow them to have an easier playstyle because they had basic infantry when they were released and some glass cannons, but now they start to have a lot of like heavy hitters, some shooting, la la la. So it's good. So they're much easier to play now than they were at release, and they just look brilliant. They are still a bit complex, more complex than, I don't know, 100 Kingdoms or Dweghoms, but they are very fun. The newest starter set is insane. Like you have almost 50% discount on one of the newest faction with all the new miniatures. Like, I mean, you have the Sorcerer, which is, okay, one of the character, a good character, by the way. The old miniatures, and when I say old, I just mean from last year. You have 12 goals, those fire zombies-ish things, and 3 Ifrits, Blade Dancers. I believe they are dual kits, so you can build them as magic throwing Ifrits as well. You have very new Danuro Disciples, those archers, that look very good and bring some shooting, which is very much needed. And you also have one Rakshasa Ravanar, this beautiful monster, which alone costs 130 euros alone. And just for this, I mean, if you consider for you buy this, you just had 30 euros, you get all the goodies, you get all these miniatures, like 3 boxes plus a box of characters, just for 30 euros on top of buying a Rakshasa. We had an unboxing and a Tactica of the Rakshasa, by the way, if you look at our older videos. But this is a great monster. There are 2 variants, which makes me say, like, first of all, is it a good deal to start the faction? Yes, absolutely. 50% discount on units that you want, every single one of them. Yes, it's an incredible, crazy deal. Do you want twice? I mean, yes. If you focus on fire, because Ifrits are specifically for fire, it's a bit hard to mix element. So if you want to play, I don't know, air or water or something, it might be a little bit harder. And you might be like, what do I do with all my Ifrits? But if you play fire, which is the basic version of playing Sorcerer Kings, if I exaggerate a bit, buy this twice, you will not regret it. Like, absolutely. You build one of those monsters as a Ravanar and the other one as a Bakasura, I think it was the name. Anyway, one of them is for hunting characters, another one is for hunting other monsters. They have different weapons, different heads. Like, this is a tiger head, but you have a few different heads. Like, you can really mix, so they really look very different. You can have 24 goals, 24 Danur Disciples, 6 Ifrits, you're probably gonna build one of each, and 2 Sorcerers. It's brilliant. And you paid like 300, like with the discounts we said 288 euros instead of paying 600. What a great deal it is. Plus, if you use our code LOVE10, it helps the channel survive. So again, thank you very much, guys, for doing this. If you like our Conquest videos, our tournament reports, battle report, unboxing and tacticas, and our how to start videos that we do every year for Lost Arguments of Kings and for First Blood as well. The older starter set, if you're like, I wish we had such good starter set for Dweghoms. When I look at this, like, I mean, I've made the calculations before, but I mean, look how good it is and how good it complements. You have a Maharaja, which is this sorcerer character, very good. You have 24 Rajakurs, 2 boxes. The basic infantry, but still is good. It's much better than men-at-arms, for example. You have 24 goals, which is a unit you want to spam anyway, and 3 more Ifrits. All of this for 34% discount, and it goes really good. I mean, it goes really good if you want to play the basic fire version. If you want air units, you don't have them in any starter. So do take this into consideration. But if you just want to play Sorcerer King, you don't care about which element, or even better, you like the element of fire, and you buy this old starter, this starter, and you're gonna have 36 goals that you can make 2 packs of, yeah, 1 pack of 5, 1 pack of 4, or like you can mix and match, and you have this horde of zombies that you can send. 24 Rajakours to carry your characters and be safe, even though the sorcerer maybe wants to be in the Danur Disciples, maybe. And you have 6 Ifrits, amazing, and a monster. That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, love it. You can buy this one twice and this one once, and it will still not be too much. And you will, like, I mean, you are spoiled for choice in Sorcerer King. Whatever you buy, it's gonna be amazing. The only thing you should not buy twice is maybe this. This one you can buy twice, and even if you buy twice, this one is still good, or you can buy one of each, or just buy one starter and play the game and see how it goes. I'm just pointing out to you what is the good deals in terms of collection, gameplay, and combo and synergies between the units, and at which points it's too much or not enough. So yeah, it's a very good day to be a Sorcerer Kings player. You have incredible deals, and no matter what you do, you're gonna be happy. There are many more units coming for the Sorcerer Kings. Some of them I have seen, and you are absolutely not ready. Can I spoil? I can spoil. There is the monster for the plane of air that is coming that you are absolutely not ready to see. Like, it's probably one of the coolest miniatures I've ever seen. Plus, I've seen some creatures from the plane of water. Like, it's a very good time to play Sorcerer Kings. I do believe it's going to be one of the coolest faction of the game, bar none. And finally, very last faction, the latest one that has been released literally right now, the Yoronis. Those are, first of all, they have a very interesting aesthetics. They have been inspired by Japanese folklore, obviously. They have 3 particularities. The first one is their lore, like they are linked to the different planes of existence with their old Sorcerer Kings. I will not go too much in the lore, but they are quite interesting in terms of even aesthetics and everything. First thing. Second thing, they are actually only composed of brutes, and which makes them easier to collect, because you don't need to paint like 120 miniatures to have a horde of infantry, even that's what I like, but you can just have a few brutes, like each brute replaces 4 normal human-sized miniatures, so that's easier to paint, easier to collect, and I know many people wanted this. And the third thing is that they are very easy to play as well, like to collect and to play, because they have what they call modular regiments, I think, and you don't need, like for other armies, like you have once to have a unit, you need to have 3, I don't know, Knights of the Ashen Dawn, for example, and you need to have 3 of them, and that's it. Here they have modular regiments where you can mix and match. Okay, I want one model of this, one model of that, one model of that. I just need to choose in this mix and match who is the leader, and it's going to be him, and it's going to give a bonus rule that's usually quite strong, but I just need to point the leader just for the rule, and then you can really make a lot of mix and match, which makes them very easy to play. They also have a different command system, which is very much permissive, which is very good to play the game, which means that if you play it correctly, you play normal Conquest, but you have a safety net, let's say, in your order of activation, where you can say like, oh shit, oh oops, I made a mistake. Well, whatever, I will be a little bit less strong maybe on this activation, but at least I will be able to activate what I want. So you have this flexibility that is great when you're a beginner, because the most thing that beginners fail on is the first few games is to make a good command stack of units which activate after which. So this is great for learning the game, and you don't have many units. They're very mixable, and they're the safety net. Like, I do feel they wanted to have their Custodes army with a very cool concept. You will see the miniature; they're absolutely insane. The concept of like Japanese monsters and brutes, it looks great as miniatures, and I think it speaks to a lot of people. And quality of the sculpture is brilliant, and yeah, it's just the perfect army for the beginners. Like, anytime someone say like, yeah, but Conquest a bit complex gameplay, I need to paint so many miniatures, and will point them at the Yoronis. And from what I feel like from the pre-orders and talking to people and new players joining Conquest with the Yoronis, I believe they might become the most popular faction of Conquest. there is such a huge hype around them. And what's crazy is I don't even understand. Like I had to reread a few times. This is the Yoroni 2025 starter set for First Blood slash Last Arguments of King. They call it the cohort. It's a new format. You paid €100. You know what? I will just check once again. I checked before, but maybe it was a mistake. I will double check. And no, it's not a mistake. No, it is indeed €100, not 160 like the other starters. You do have less miniatures, but when you see the price, like, I mean, you do get this Kitsune Onmyoji, this one, which is a very beautiful character. The basic one, because you have the Artisan series, which is one of the craziest miniatures I've ever seen, but looks very difficult to paint. This is a normal version, but it already looks insane. You have 3 Kamis, which are those turtle-ish things. Well, Kami is a turtle, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, no, the Kamis are those guys, okay? You have 3 of those. Tough, very defensive guys. You have 3 also Kapabushis. I think they are support, like priest creatures. We had a look at them at a previous video. 2 Onis, the DPS, like basic warriors, but still very, very cool. Remember, those are all brute sized. So these guys are like ogre sized, and a human is going to be barely half the size and much thinner. So those are absolutely gigantic monsters. You're also going to get 2 Tengu Bushis, those flying guys that if you play them in pure units, they can just fly around other units. Incredible. And you have all the goodies and everything, like Map of the World, the decals, the Quick Start Guide. The total price is €196, which means, and this is what I checked, you are, with this, at about 50% discount for a new faction that has just been released. I don't know. This is such a crazy deal that I'm like, I had to reread, I had to recheck right now, because even if it were at 160 points like other factions, it would still be at 18% discounts, which is what we sometimes have on starters. I mean, at 18%, I would tell you like, yeah, well, you know what, it's a new faction, you have to start, maybe better with a 2-player starter set, but I mean, it's a 1-player starter set, almost 20% discounts for a new faction, brand new faction, it's a good deal already, buy it once, buy it twice. But here at 50% discount on the brand new faction, this is so amazing that yes, buy it once, you know what, buy it twice, don't even think. And this is the only starter when I will say like, you know what, at this point, even if you want, buy it thrice. Like, it's gonna be a big collection of everything. Be careful not to have too many with the 2-player starter set, especially if you buy it several times. But it's the only starter when I'm like, yes, you can buy it 3 times. Yes, you will have 9 Kapabushis, 9, no, those are Kamis, 9 Kapabushis, you will have 6 Onis and 6 Tengus, which is not too much. Maybe the 3rd Kitsune is going to be too much at some point. Maybe you can resell it around somehow or make some conversion or whatever. But at this point, I'm like, wow, this is, yeah, it's a brilliant starter. And I hope, I really cross my fingers, that every single new army that they're going to make is going to have such a good deal, because this is like open sign for all new players, like, welcome, try this new army. And it really takes a lot of strength of mind to not jump on this. If/when we receive the Yoroni's starter set, the cohort, which I'm hoping, we ask for it and should be on the way, hopefully, we will make an unboxing and a full Tactica, how to play, how to build guide, if/when we receive it. And the very last box we will talk the second time is the 2-player starter set. We talked about it already for the Wood Runes. So let's remember that it's an insane deal. And even if you don't buy it, like even if you buy it expensive as a Yoroni player, it's still going to be very interesting, because with this box you have 1 Daimyo, this leader character. You're gonna have 3 Tengu Bushis, not 2, 3, okay. 3 Onis as well, those guys, great. And you're also going to get 3 of those Kamis. All of this for less than €100. So you do get 10 giant brute-sized miniatures, which is almost the same number as you get there. Yeah, this is like 6, 10, 11. You have 11 miniatures here. Those you have a little bit more Oni and a little bit more Tengu and another character, which makes it very interesting. Plus you can share. For the Yoronis, like the same discount, this and that. Probably you want one of each. You want to find a Wadroon player with whom to share. Remember that the Wadroon players, just this creature is 130 euros. So you will find Wadroon players willing to share. Like I think this is gonna sell like the little, like in French we say it's gonna sell like little breads. Like you are going, everybody wants it. The Yoroni wants it for the character, for more ways to start their army, and the Wadroons want it because they have this for 130 euros and they're gonna pay less than this, and it's units they like. Raptor Riders is great, and you don't have them in so many, and especially the hunting packs, you like them as well, and you have them in so many stars. So jump on this if you can. And again, with the Love 10 discount code, it's only 180 euros, 90 euros per player. Damn. So both are very good ways to start your army. I would say, since they're so modular and more units are coming, and we've seen some teasers, there's some insane units coming. If you're starting Yoroni, just buy this one specifically. Yes, once, maybe twice if you're very excited, and especially buy twice if you cannot find the 2-player starter sets for the Yoroni with whom to share. If you can find a Wadroon player with whom to share, or maybe a Wadroon player as well, you can just buy this one once and this one once, okay? And then chill. Wait. It's an insane deal, but this one is, I don't think it's temporary. If they say like, yeah, in a month we stop selling this, do buy it fast because it's an insane deal. But just already get this, paint it, and wait for the upcoming releases, because as you can see, only a few type of units have been released. The Tengus, the Kappas, the Kamis, and the Onis, and then a couple characters. Monsters are coming, one specific type of infantry is coming, the Shinigamis, and lots of other monsters and creatures and brutes. So don't overjump, don't try to make straight away 2000 points army with the Yoronis, because otherwise you will buy all the other releases after because they look insane, and you will end up with a 5000 points collection. So just buy once or twice starters, it's already going to be way enough, and then you can wait and see what's coming. And let me spoil you a little bit. I'm really looking forward for having our first Yoroni players on the table, because I think they're really going to bring a new wave of players, because they're very easy to play. And if you were interested in Conquest for a while, there's never been a better time to start the game. Alright, we arrive at the end of the guide. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope it was helpful. If it were, give us a thumbs up, give us a little comment. You can also win some Dweghoms army. We made a contest some while ago. It's going to end up in summer. It's like a 6 months contest. Every comment you put gives you a ticket to, like one comment per video gives you a chance to win a large Dweghoms army with some initiates, Ardent Karawa, Wardens, Berserkers, like lots of things. You can also win another chance with each ticket to win a Union battle fleet for Dystopian Wars, another game that we cover quite a lot. And if you want even more chances, we have a Discord in the description, and you can go there. We organize some gaming sessions, and you can get some tickets by just coming, telling us which games you want to play, and then as a group we all go from one game to another. We make a little squad, we have a vocal area, and we play together, and you can gain even more tickets there. And of course, the best way to support our work, because we don't have a TP or Patreon or anything like this, best way to support us, if you like this type of content and you want to support us, is to buy your miniatures that are already with great discounts on the official Parabellum website with the Love 10 code, and then we get 10%, and this is what funds the channel. So thank you very much, my wife, my cat, and I. Thank you very much if you do that. Thank you guys, take care of yourself, and until the next video, remember to keep things fair in love and war games. Bye!